I really want to appreciate and welcome you to this event titled How to Transition as a Healthcare Worker into AI and Data Specialist within 3 to 6 months. And hopefully you can guarantee yourself at least 10 to 50% increase in salary. It can be more using a framework that we have designed called the E2PE framework. Sorry, I didn't really turn off my camera. I hope you guys can see me. So my goal, I'm hoping that your goal to attend this meeting is that you really want to transition from a low-paying healthcare work to becoming a highly paid AI and data specialist. I'm hoping that that's your goal. That's the reason why you're attending this meeting. And before we move ahead, let's just set the record straight or try to understand what position you are right now. Now, you might not be a healthcare worker, but this event was designed for healthcare workers based in the UK. But also, if you're maybe having a different current situation, just try to understand your current situation. But for healthcare workers, based on my research, I understand that like in the UK, maybe the average job, on average, on an hourly base is like 11 to 13 pounds. You can have extra bonuses. There's someone who is not muted. Please just mute yourself. And for some of you as well, you moved to the UK with, with good degrees, let's say bachelor's or even a master's degree. And technically, I would say that you're being underemployed, which somehow is not even related to your studies. You might have done a degree in, let's say, in finance, and now you find yourself in doing healthcare. And also the fact that you're doing this healthcare job, your hours are really undeterministic. What I mean is that maybe this week you're working in the afternoon, next week you're working in the evening, or you actually have a timetable, but the fact that you have to do extra hours, your schedule is really undeterministic because you have to work extra hours in order to make extra pounds. And doing that, on average, we know the standard working hours in Europe, in the US, we expect you to do maximum 40 hours a week. But from my understanding, if you keep to 40 hours a week, you might barely meet up with your expenses. So some of you're really extending to even go up to like 50 to 60 hours just to make ends meet. With that, it's really, really stressful and tiring. And we can all agree that it's not easy. There's a reason why they said it's 40 hours a week, but you have to maybe go up to like 50 to 60 in order to make up extra money. Technically, if truly you went to school and had a master's degree in finance, and now you're doing that, you're doing a healthcare job, there is nothing wrong with that. But I understand that you might not be having a job satisfaction. So imagine that you're doing something that you really don't like. It can be really, really, as you're there, you're just looking at, hopefully let these hours just pass by. I really want to go back home. You're not having that job satisfaction. Then, guys, please help me unmute yourself when you join the call. And also, the pay rate is fixed. So let's say maybe you started a job, maybe 11 to 13 pounds is something reasonable as compared to when you were back in Africa. But you realize that your expenses in UK, they are really going up, but the salary stays fixed. Maybe now you were just alone. Now maybe you're having a family, or you have to take care of people back home. The fact that you're abroad is also, for technically you have to start taking care of people back home. So expenses are going up, but your salary stays fixed. And in such a job, yes, they can claim that you can have some advancement, but the room for you to grow is very, very small. So there is very little job advancement. And with such hours, you're working 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week. Technically, you don't have time for yourself, then even no time for family and friends. And when you're working, it's all about you enjoying life. So what's the need doing such things that you cannot really enjoy time with family and friends? And at the end of the day, maybe you're looking to make that change. You really, really want to make that change. I understand that most of you are doing the job because, it's better off than maybe in Africa, but as you're here, you want to use that as a way to transition into something better for tomorrow. Okay, so that is my understanding of the current situation. And hopefully, I want to take you to this desired destination. That is my goal. That is the goal of this event. So the desired destination I want you to take is I really want you to become an AI and data specialist. And what does that mean? So when you become an AI and data specialist, you stand the chance of earning like 30 to 50 pounds an hour. We're talking from that is a skyrocket jump, right? If you're earning 10 to 13 euros per hour, now we're looking at going up to like 30 to 50 pounds an hour. You are able to leverage your degree plus experience. I don't know about you, but for me, if I'm doing something that is not related to maybe what I studied, because I really need to leverage what I studied in the university. If not, then it was just a waste of time. So with this is an opportunity for you to leverage your degree again, and you should have a fixed work schedule. You know you have to go to work between 8 and 5. There is nothing like after work, you start looking for extra hours. You can do your 40 hours a week and still earn something very, very good so that you can spend time with family, with friends. It's very, very important. Okay. If you still want to do extra hours, there's still that possibility. I know of guys that are doing these jobs and are doing 2 or 3 jobs because there is a possibility for you to do remote jobs. So some jobs, it can be 100% remote. Some there is a mix. So maybe you can do maybe 2 days at home or 3 days at home. Then maybe 1 or 2 days you go to the office. There's that job flexibility. And the fact that you are home, there's a lot you can do while doing your job. Now, if you can combine this and maybe your degree, I believe there will be that job satisfaction. You want to wake up in the morning and feel like, yes, I really want to start my day. I really want to go to work because there is that job satisfaction. And also, you start having that financial freedom. I believe one of the reasons why you travel abroad as well is because you want that financial freedom. Maybe in Africa, it wasn't really doing well. So the reason why you traveled and came over to the UK is because you want that financial freedom. So these are opportunities for you to get to that financial freedom as fast as possible. And at the end of the day as well, increase your status, right? So it's not just when you go back home, you should go back home with something very, very good so that you have that increase in status and that respect that I know you deserve it. And finally, you should feel fulfilled about your life. That is something very, very important. So that is the desired destination I want to take you guys to, and we're going to see how that is possible. So I think from the questions I also received, some of you were asking, from my understanding, some of you don't even understand what is AI and data. I know you might be versed with terms like data analyst, business analyst, and all those kind of things, but you really don't understand what we mean by AI and data. I'll just use this slide to lay down the foundation, but technically there is more. But just to make sure we're all having the same understanding before I move ahead. So normally you use AI and data to solve any business problem. That is it. That is the simple definition. Okay, and it's just a technology. It's just like any other thing you can use in order to solve a business problem. And you need to understand that AI and data on its own doesn't really make sense. You need to apply this AI and data in an industry. So let's say, for example, you left Africa with a health background, you're actually a nurse. Okay, you can leverage this AI and data skill in your industry. Same, if you had a degree in finance, transportation, management, you can now leverage this AI and data skills in your sector. That is why I'm really interested in non-tech professionals, because I do believe you do have the domain knowledge. If you have a degree in transportation or in finance, that is a wealth of information that you can leverage in order to transition into AI and data. Take note, all this industry, they're all collecting data, and they need guys like you with the skills in AI and data and with the domain knowledge to be able to really solve business problem in your domain. So some of the roles you can pick up when you dive into the field of AI and data, take note, AI and data is a very, very broad field. That means there are so many roles in AI and data. And some of the roles could be AI project manager. You can become a data analyst. You can become a business analyst, a data engineer, a data scientist. At the end of this call, at the end of this meeting, I will send you guys a video link to one of the events we organized last year with one of a top professional in Belgium, who actually helped to break down some of the top skills that are needed in the field of AI and data. So you can actually understand some of these roles, but also I will maybe explain as we move ahead. Okay, so that is that about AI and data. And before we move ahead, even why should you even care about AI and data, right? At this end of this at this moment, you might be asking yourself, but yeah, you've mentioned very good things, but why will I even care about this? Maybe I've already kind of convinced you based on the amount, but there are several reasons why you should care about it. You need to understand that AI and data is the next revolution. When electricity came, it was a revolution. When the internet came, it was a revolution. And now we're talking about AI. If you don't accept these things, the things will accept you. So you'll be controlled by those things. For those who accepted the internet earlier on, they took advantage of it. So now that AI is here, you have to be at the forefront so that you take advantage of it. Because if you don't take advantage of it right now, and a lot of people rush into it, and you become Mr. Hewitt. And data is being considered as the new wealth for companies. That means if there's a data breach, let's say in like Facebook, in like TikTok, in whatsoever, that is the worst thing they can ever have, for them to have a data breach. So for every company in this current economy, they protect the data, because with their data, there's a lot they can do with data. And one of the reasons why they say Donald Trump, for example, won the 2016 election is because he actually leveraged data in order to do target marketing. Before marketing, you just go to Facebook and just say, I just want to target everyone. But his campaign team leveraged data in order to do target marketing. So that you see how data and AI is being leveraged in sectors such as marketing. Now and then also, the world is already empowered by AI and data. The fact that you're joining me on this call, it's been empowered by AI and data. I don't need to say much about it. You have heard about the chat GPT. You have heard about the things that are really happening in the technology world today. So I don't think this is, let's say, something that you might not have heard of. Then also companies are rushing to leverage the data. Before, it was a stage where companies were trying to make sure they try to, let's say, generate more data. Now they are at the point where now we have the data. Okay, we have identified that data is important. How can we leverage the data? Because just raw data doesn't really make sense. You really have to go inside, check what's inside, check the inside. So they need people with such skills. And the salaries are very, very attractive. You might have maybe you have some friends that are actually in the field of AI and data, okay, and they are making good money. I can't lie to you, the salaries are very, very attractive, and the work, and now since it's hot cake, they are willing to pay people more because they want to leverage these AI and data skills. So those are some of the reasons why you should care about AI and data now. And to be specific, in the UK, this is the data I just got online. Online, even you can never have the true data, but I believe this is just an estimate. It can be more than, I believe it's even more than. For most people, you guys will probably want to start as a data analyst. You see, like in the UK, you earn, from what I saw online, like 35,000 annually, which I think is too small. You can go up based on your experience. You might have had experience back in Africa before coming to Europe. So you can actually leverage your experience from Africa, or maybe in the UK, or be in the healthcare sector, and definitely and more. Then you see, like a mid data analyst, you can earn from like 40,000 pounds a year and above. We're talking about still keeping the basic hours, okay, and you're able to do other things by the side. I don't know, maybe currently you're close to earning this amount with the current job, but you're putting so many hours and it's very, very stressful. We're talking about you starting with something good, and there is that there's that possibility of exponential growth. Yeah, there are other roles as well, project managers and maybe AI engineers, you can earn more. So these other roles, the more you earn, it can also be based on, let's say, management roles, and also how technical you become. So those are some attractive values and the reason why you should care about AI and data. And lastly, like I mentioned already, the field is very, very high demand. That means AI and data roles are in high demand. Companies are rushing to even understand this thing about AI. They don't even know where to start. There can be a businessman in London or in Birmingham that is trying to even understand what is this AI thing, how can it help me in my company. That is why they need people with such skills. And the fact that they need people, the salaries become very, very competitive. If you prove yourself that you're quite good, sometimes, depending on the opportunity, you can decide your salary. There's that opportunity for you to really bargain what I'm going to earn. But in your current job, they'll tell you as a healthcare worker, it's fixed. When I say it's 11 or 13 euros, you cannot argue about that. I've also mentioned there is that possibility of that career growth, right? You can really grow fast, and there are diverse paths. So it depends. If you really want to become technical, there is a path for you. If you say, no, I want to stay maybe non-technical, but I understand the AI and data, there is a path for you. And at the end of the day, you want to do something that can be impactful. So you want to create an impact in the world, or maybe in your company or in people's life. There is that opportunity for you to do so with AI and data. Okay, now, probably some of you might have already understood that AI and data is a field to leverage. You might have tried things already and it's not working for you. In the next few minutes, let's elaborate. I'll try to maybe talk about the strategies and the current challenges you have been facing in trying to make the transition. So the first challenge you might have, or you're currently having if you want to make the transition is, yeah, you have spoken about AI and data. So which career path can I follow? So that is always one of the first challenge people are having, like which career path can I follow based on my background, my experience, and my interest. So that is the first challenge you might have. The second challenge is, yes, let's say you have identified that you want to become a business analyst. So which are the skills am I supposed to study? Which are the skills am I supposed to learn? If you go online, if you Google what are the skills of a data analyst, yes, you have a long list of skills that you have to learn. But the mistake a lot of people make is you already possess some of the skills. And some of the skills that has been listed online, those are just generic skills. You need to be specific to your domain. If you want to work in the finance, if you want to work in health, if you want to work in transportation, there are certain skills you need to learn. That is why it's not just going online and start looking at all YouTube videos. You need to be very specific. The next challenge is maybe you have already studied the skills, you have the skills, but you're struggling with a lot of job rejections. Take note, a lot of people are online to doing this thing, and people have very, very good CVs. Meanwhile, they cannot back those CVs. So you might be struggling with these job rejections, not because it's really your fault. Maybe you're actually genuine. You have the skills, you have everything, but also a lot of people are competing. So I'll show you how you can, fight, let's say, reduce some of this job rejection with other strategies. So those are the challenges you might be facing if you want to make the transition, or you might probably started doing the transition. So I just wish to confirm, am I still loud and audible?
Yeah, you
Yes.
are.
Okay,
Can hear you
okay.
All right.
clearly.
Yeah, I can't really see you guys, so if for some reason you're not hearing me, you're just unmute yourself
Follow
or in
now.
the chat section. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, now I think we have covered quite a handful of very useful information. And most of you now on this call, you might be asking me, is this thing really possible? And those are some of the questions I received, right? Is this thing really possible for me? And genuinely, yeah, it's okay. It's a very good question to ask yourself. And if you don't have the answer, most of the time, maybe someone has tried it and they failed, they'll tell you this thing is not for you. Don't even think about it. But I want to tell you, it is a possibility, but it will take you something. You need to do something, right? And for those of you that have actually tried, let's just say these are some of the strategies that I know people are using, right? So you are a non-tech guy and you want to transition, and maybe you have tried going back to university. That is one strategy. I'm not saying that it's not a good strategy. If you do have the time, if you are young, you're let's say 20, 23, and you still have that zeal to go back to university and enjoy university life, it's a good strategy. You can go back. But generally, from my own philosophy and my advice for you, this this is you take 2 to 3 years. Meanwhile, if you use the right strategy that I'm going to propose, you can do it in 3 to 6 months. So it all depends on you. But for me, this is not the strategy if you already have a master's degree or a degree at least. Another strategy that I've realized that a lot of guys are doing, the fact that you have access to the internet and you have some few pounds, you think you can go online, go to YouTube decide to scrap the whole internet to start looking for YouTube videos. It's a good strategy. Some people have tried that, some people have done it, some people have succeeded, but it's quite a difficult one for you to just go online and start doing those things on your own. Okay, so yes, there is a success rate in it, but it's quite low. And another thing too, the fact that everyone can go online and create a YouTube account, create a TikTok account. Like just today, before joining this meeting, I just went on TikTok, and what I saw someone recommending, I just got mad because a lot of people today, and that's something I will not hope that you do, that tomorrow in 6 months you become a data analyst. The next minute I'll hear you're already having your own school and you're teaching people that to become a data an AI and data specialist. Take your time, gain the experience, you understand. And while I was online, what that guy was recommending for me is just, it tells me that he or she is not experienced. Those are kind of people that go online and just, because they have had a job, the next minute they think they can coach other people. So even, it doesn't guarantee that you have 10 years of experience makes you a coach. We know of, for those of you guys are in the UK, and we know it doesn't guarantee that the fact that you're played in the English league, in the English Premier League, guarantees that when you leave, you become a good coach. That is no guarantee. There are qualities of becoming a coach. Okay, so those are the strategies. Those are the strategies. And the truth is, I just want to tell you the truth. It can be painful. Sorry, but I need to tell you guys because I'm someone, I'm always straightforward, and I want the truth, and I really want you guys to grow. Those strategies, some people have succeeded. There is a success rate in it, but it will not guarantee you a very high success rate. You don't want to invest your time and money in things that cannot guarantee you high success rate. We're talking about one of the two most important resources in life, time and money, right? You need to invest those things wisely. And another thing which is also painful is that I know some of you are there in the UK with master's degrees and bachelor degrees in your pocket. Just keep that thing aside. Congratulations for having your degrees, but in today's job market, your degrees are not sufficient. It's not sufficient to land your job. There is more you have to do in order to penetrate the job market. It is very, very competitive. So I'll show you that boasting about your degree is not the right strategy. There are things that you should be able to portray in front of an employer that will guarantee you a job. There is someone with the mic on. Please just again mute yourself so that we have a quiet event. Now, okay, now, so I know you somehow, for some reason, will always want to blame someone. And I want to say, first of all, the current situation you are is not your fault. If you knew that going to university and earning the degree will land you with the current situation you are right now, I can bet most of you wouldn't have even gone to university. So it is not your fault. And our universities are not doing a good job. Our universities are not doing a good job. So don't blame yourself. It's the system. And also the job market is hard. Don't think that the job market is hard only for you. It is also hard for even the locals. Okay, because now it is very, very competitive. Now in the US, another thing I'm going to share with you is one of my articles I wrote about how to penetrate the job market. Now, before, maybe back in the days without the internet, when there was, let's say, there was a job opening, let's say in London, you expect only guys in London to apply for that job. But now with the internet, an employer can launch a role and decide to even employ someone in India. So that's why the job market is very, very competitive, because there is this possibility of remote working. It is becoming competitive, and at the same time, that opens you up to more opportunities. So you don't have to limit yourself to the local environment. You can also start applying for jobs or look at opportunities elsewhere if you are connected to the internet. So I'm going to share with you guys that article. With the current situation, I really want to say you guys deserve the support. There is no doubt about that. You really need the support. And I believe that with the right support, you can still live that dream life. It's never too late. It's all about making that decision and getting the right help. With the right help and support, you can still live your dream life. Okay. I guess I've been talking quite a lot, and now you're asking me, okay, you have been saying all of these things. What is really the code, right? How can we unlock this? Because so far I haven't really explained to you how you can unlock. I've shown you strategies on how you can unlock, but you're now asking me how we can unlock. And before I do, I really want us to, first of all, break certain false beliefs. Um, some of you already have beliefs that we need to, first of all, remove them so that you know that this thing is possible. And the false belief number one is you probably think that you have to complete a tech degree before you can land a job in the tech sector. That is totally false. Okay. Yes, there are certain roles that we need, that certain employers still believe that you need a tech degree, but there are other roles that you really don't need it. And if you can prove that, the reason why these guys are asking for the tech degrees is because they feel like with a tech degree, somehow the universities have already helped you cover those skills. But if you can prove that's the nice thing about the tech sector. You can actually prove, like maths. You can prove it that you know how to do these things by doing what? By having projects. If you can prove that, you can show someone that if you look, these are the projects I've done that proves that I have the skills. Bet me, they can keep that thing aside about tech degrees. So my answer here is you don't really need the tech degree in order to land a job in the field of AI and data. I did it, so you can also do it. You also think you must travel to let's say now you're currently in the UK, maybe you're thinking of moving the US because here in the US people are having 2, 3 jobs and other stuffs. Technically, I'll first of all say there are certain areas, certain countries that do really offer good opportunities. If you're maybe like someone joining from Nigeria, you're thinking of moving to the UK. Yes, obviously the UK will provide you more opportunities than being in Nigeria and maybe the US as well. But like I said, I've seen cases where people are still in Nigeria, they're still in Cameroon, they're still in Ghana, and they are doing a very good job. Companies here, they go to those like back home and they get those guys from there. So you really don't need to travel before you can start thinking of having this dream job. Start from where you are, start local and start gaining the experience. Those experiences start gaining from there. Those are the experiences you will leverage if you really, really want to travel abroad. Okay, so you don't really need to travel abroad before you think of getting these jobs. And lastly, you might be thinking that you need to change your field. I hope by now you've understood that I'm not asking you to say you want to make a complete shift into AI and data. What I'm saying is that I want us to leverage your degree, and we just add some, some nice stuffs on it, like, that last sprinkle, right? Now, since AI and data is selling, you want to say, okay, I have a degree in finance, but I'll now have skills in AI and data, which makes me a more qualified candidate in order to analyze data in a bank or in a financial institution. So it's not a complete transition. It's more like you just, gaining more skills. That is it. Okay, and now I really want to about the cheat code, how we can really make that transition, right? So let's look at what is the transition. If you do have, I don't know if you're watching this from your laptop, I would like you to scan the QR code. For those that are watching on your laptop, you have a phone by you. So I've put forth a quick and fast cheat code for you to unlock your AI and data opportunities in weeks. So no hard work required. So probably some of you are joining with your phone, so unfortunately you will not be able to scan. For those that are, I'm going to send the link to those that are using their phones, but for those that are watching this from a laptop, you can scan, and if there are any things, you can also use the chat section. While we wait for the others to scan, this is an opportunity for you to ask in the next 1 or 2 minutes to ask a question so far. You can either put a question in the chat section, or for whoever is fast enough can unmute and ask a question.
Ivo.
Yes.
This QR code on the screen. I think you sent the wrong QR code.
Okay. Anyways, it was intentional. Okay. The reason why I did that was because that is the problem with most of us. We want quick solutions. And I intentionally did that. And I said, that's why I said on you clearly look at the label, you want to do it in weeks. You go online, someone will say you can make this transition in 2 weeks, in 1 month. And those are the kind of things we want to see. We want fast things. So what I'm just trying to say is this, so don't bother even scan anything because it will not work. It's just a placeholder. I want you to know that this thing is going to require hard work from you. It's going to take some time. Don't expect quick results. But if you use the right strategy, you can reduce the time frame. That's why we're saying that between 3 to 6 months. But I don't see you, anyways, depending on what you already have. Some of you already have some of the skills. What you just need is some polishing. Then I expect you can do it in a few weeks. But if you don't have any skills at all, don't even think of it. That's why when you go online, you get carried away. You get carried by people saying that I'll help you in 1 week, in 2 weeks for you to land a job. And those are the kind of traps you guys fall in. So avoid those kind of situations, and you need to follow the methodology I'm going to provide soon. So what is actually a cheat code? So this is a framework that we have designed. Some of you, if you register for the events a little bit, I think like maybe let's say 4 days earlier, you should have gotten this framework. So this framework is a framework that we have designed in order to help non-tech professionals to transition from their current state to becoming an AI and data specialist within 3 to 6 months. It is something we have taken the time to really put the phases in order. We are not doing try and error. It is something that we have tested over 1 year now, and it's based on our experience, it's based on my experience, it's based on the experience of other professionals. This is what they're actually doing, but technically no one has taken the time to put this in place. So we have really put everything in place, and all the things you're going to need. If you're going to, all the skills, the tools that you're going to need for that transition, we have put them in place. And when you go through this framework, we can guarantee that you can actually transition to becoming an AI and data specialist. So in the next few minutes, I will be walking you through the steps involved in order to make that transition between 3 to 6 months, and you can guarantee yourself 10 to 50% increase in salary. So the name of the framework, I just call it E2PE, but it stands for Education to Professional Employment Framework. Okay. I've been talking, and probably most of you are asking who is actually talking. Is my camera on? So.
Yes. I can see.
Okay.
Why are you smiling?
Okay, my camera has been on, so that's good news. But okay, so a little bit about me, guys. I'm Ivo Kubam, and I'm a Cameroonian currently residing in Belgium. I'm the founder of Graffiland. So is my partner, so he's a co-founder of Graffiland as well. And I'm an AI and data science consultant. So I've provided my consulting services for top companies such as Pfizer, but I wasn't the guy involved with the COVID vaccine drug. So please, guys, don't accuse me of anything. Then I'd also Brussels Airport. But my journey started since back in Cameroon, like in 2012. I had a degree in biochemistry. I didn't really want to get involved in the lab, so I decided to make a switch. So I got involved with data. So it has been more than how many years now? I'm in the field of AI. But yeah, maybe most of the time I really talk about data. Sometimes my girlfriend, she's really mad at me. She wants us to talk something else. So my life is not all about AI and data. I really love reading. For those of you who love to read, you can join me as well. I really love reading. I really read a lot of books. I'm eclectic. If maybe not talking about AI and data today, probably I'll be playing for Manchester United, but not Manchester United anymore because they are not really doing well. I also love swimming. I know So is laughing at me, and Liverpool is also not doing well. So I also love swimming, and as well, I really love traveling around. So the fact that we are in Europe, in the EU, it gives me the opportunity to really travel around. So that is that about me, right? So if you really want to know more, I'm very active. I'm trying to be active on all the social media platforms, but you can actually link up with me personally on LinkedIn. And also, I think if you attend this meeting today, you received an email from me, so you can email me back. So that was that about me. And yeah, I think somehow was mentioned. So I started when I got done with my bachelor's in 2010. I started teaching. That is one of the natural route for most people in Africa. I don't know. Yeah. So I was earning like $100 a month, which is even way better than like what's like what you guys are earning right now, right? But the fact that I switched to data, I was able to do some freelancing and earning some money for myself, right? I was doing really gaining some contracts around and really earning more. Then again, around 2016, I decided to start up a company. And I had one of my biggest contracts back then with a hospital that was owned by Italians. So if you understand that they can leave Italy to come trust me, that's to tell you about the boundaries you can break when it comes to AI and data. If you have the skills, these guys don't care. These guys, they want results. So it's all about focusing on your skills. And if they really want you and you've proven that you can do the job, they will come for you. In 2018, so even back then, I did a master's in health economics. I really love school, guys. I love school. Then I traveled to Belgium and in 2018 for a master's in statistics. You know, the day at the airport, I think I was really going to heaven. But when I came to Belgium, I was hit by the reality of being in Bush, okay, being abroad. I started facing unemployment, unskilled jobs. I did all those thoughts, all those like maybe even worse than what you guys are doing. Anyways, I've not really done a whole job before, so I might not really understand what is going on. But I know it's also not the best situation for some people. But also in Belgium, it wasn't easy. I think Saul can confirm with me. We were doing all sorts of jobs just to make living. And it was very, very stressful. The fact that I had to go to school, the fact that I had to do these jobs in order to take care of myself and take care of family back home, it was very, very stressful. Then again, it wasn't really easy because Belgium, the first languages are French and English, French and Dutch. So you really needed to speak Dutch in order to really get good jobs. So that's also another issue. And for those of you that are in the UK, I don't need to tell you about the isolation. So maybe people back home think things that we are really enjoying out here, but sometimes just the isolation itself can really kill you. So those were the challenges I faced, and I believe you guys can really, you are a testament to that. But for me, it wasn't really that bad because I'm here with my elder brother, so he was a beacon of hope for me. The fact that he came ahead of me, went to school, got a job, a very good job, it was a beacon of hope. So when I asked him, but how did you do it? Meanwhile, I see others, because when I came, I saw others that they have been here and 2, 3 masters, and they are still fighting for the minimal jobs that we're hoping to do in order to make living. So he said, in order for you to penetrate the professional world, you must prove yourself different. You must be different because there are a lot of people pursuing that same degree you're doing. Okay, so you need to differentiate yourself. You need to align your studies to the needs of the job market. You need to be internationally recognized. You need to be out there selling yourself. So I took this advice and I went online, started doing some certifications. I was very active on LinkedIn. I was doing personal projects. I was publishing them. I was so active, such that by the time I even got done with my degree in data science, I already had a job. Okay, so when I had my job, before even getting done, so like I mentioned already, I consulted for top companies like Pfizer and Brussels Airport. At one time, even while I was a student, I was a Microsoft ambassador. Um, for if I said, if you have watched the video already this morning, for those of you really looking for certifications, yes, you can have those certifications, but I would strongly advise that you get those certifications from certified providers. So if, for example, you're aiming for Power BI, get certifications from Power BI. Don't get it from me, because at the end of the day, it makes no sense. These certifications are quite good and really do personal projects. So that is about me. That's my achievement. Those are my transformations. I'm not saying this in order to brag. I'm just saying this in order to motivate you so that it is possible. Most of you already have achievements that are even more than what you're having, more than what I am having. So we just need to leverage those achievements and the experiences in order to make that transition. Okay, some friendly secrets. For me, I don't even have secrets. Anything I just have in my mind, I just wake up in the morning and I record a video and I start telling people. So if you really want to always get advice on me, make sure you keep an eye on Graffiland. I hope I'm going to talk about Graffiland, but across our social media channels, I always give a lot of videos out. So I mentioned it's not all about your degree, okay? So secret number one, you can actually land a job, corporate job, in weeks and not years. There's really no need for you to go back to school. If there was a way for me to rewind time, I don't think the master's degrees that I had was really necessary. I'm proud of them, but technically, when I go in for interviews, no one is even asking about those things. So I'm asking myself, why did I even do all those degrees? So don't think of degrees. Think of how you can learn those skills very, very fast and get the job. We want money. We don't want degrees. Secret number two, anyone can master the skills. It's about determination. If you have the right mentor, you have the right people, you just learn the necessary skills that are needed for you to learn a job. So you can actually learn those skills. So you can learn them from the comfort of your home. You don't need to quit your job in order to go learn those skills. Fortunately for you, most of you are based in the UK or you have access to the internet, and you can learn those skills on your own or with the help of a professional. And also, if you do the right thing well, you don't even need to apply for jobs. People will they'll DM you on LinkedIn that they have seen that you're doing a very good job, would like you to, come and do something for us. Like the recruiters, they'll start fetching for you, not you rushing behind recruiters. But you need to be out there to really show that you're good enough. Okay. So now, if you have been distracted, I really need you to pause and maybe have a book and a pen to start taking notes, because what I'm about to share, it's very, very important. This is the peak of this event. Very, very important. So let's go. So the first stage of the E2PE framework is career coaching. Some people, when you say you want to transition into AI and data, let's take, for example, Scrum. There is nothing wrong with Scrum, but the fact that a lot of people heard that Scrum was paying, they saw their friends entering Scrum, they started following the crowd and going to learn Scrum. There is nothing wrong with that strategy, but understand that there are certain profiles or job roles that need specific type of skills. Let's say you are introvert. A Scrum Master job is not for you. Because with the Scrum Master job, you need to be out there, you need to talk, you need to collaborate, you need to really be pushful. I'm not saying that introverts cannot do the job, but you just understand that if you really have interest, then you have to learn skills of learn communication skills, learn how to be an introvert, learn how to really be out there. So avoid this type of career coaching that you just go online and you start seeing people doing something, you follow the line and you're just doing it very blindly. At the end of the day, some people will succeed, but the majority will fail. So what am I advising you to do? Talk to a career coach. A career coach, you can go, you can have a friend or someone that you've seen that you really admire, and it can be me, it can be someone, it can be someone you can find online. But the thing is, you need to understand the need of the job market. The job market it's kind of evolving. It's evolving very, very fast. I think there are some Scrum Masters on this call. Now, like Scrum Masters, it's not about just being a Scrum Master or learning the Agile framework or learn the Agile framework. No, learn the Agile methodology or the Scrum framework. It's all about also being a little bit technical. You are dealing with technical people, so you need to understand the technicalities. So that's the reason why I say you need to talk to a career coach, because they understand the job market. They understand what recruiters are in need of. They understand what companies are in need of. And you also need a strategy and a plan. Not just say today I will study this or tomorrow I'll study that. You need a plan of action. That's why talking to a career coach is very, very important before you even start the transition. It is very, very important. I cannot really overemphasize on this, because this is the pinnacle to your success in your transition success. Next phase is skill development. Some have touched on this. Yeah, some of you can succeed by going online and looking at Coursera, Udemy, and picking up courses there. It's a good approach, but I will not recommend this approach to beginners. If you don't have any technical background, this is not the place for you to go to, because these platforms, it's not tailored to you. They are targeting millions and millions of people, so you don't expect that the courses that you find there to be tailored to your specific needs. Sometimes you watch something and you really need to ask a question. There is no one to even ask a question, even though they'll say there are some chat sections, but technically this is not a methodology that I'll recommend for beginners. If you have actually had some experience, then I can advise you to go online like this and pick up some skills. So what am I recommending? You learn from an industry professional. I just mentioned that I have, the degrees are there, I have the skills. I started doing this thing since 2012. So for example, you have someone of my profile and they want to tell you about what to learn. I would definitely advise you on what is necessary. I don't advise you on what is, it's what can I put it, like just it's like nice to have. No, we don't, there is no time for nice to have. If you have time for nice to have, go back, you can go to university and they'll be teaching you things that is nice to have. But we are looking at solving a business problem, attacking the job market. So you need to really learn from learn from an industry professional that understand the job market, and they will focus on practicality, right? They want you to learn those things. Then obviously, as I mentioned, acquiring certifications are quite good, but it should not be a primary goal. Those things should just be like a plus. If you have the money for it, because they actually cost money, yeah? You have the money for it, then you can learn, you can gain those certifications. The industry tools. For each profile, they do have tools. Let's say you want to become an AI project manager, then okay, you have to blend your Scrum skills, then you blend your AI to it, right? If you're looking at becoming a data analyst, you should be thinking of Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and all those kind of things. So you need to understand the tools of the career track you are going to choose. Now, I mentioned that, for most profiles now, take note, employers, no one loves amateurs. Even you don't want an amateur. If you have a problem, let's say you're sick today, you don't want to go. A doctor says, I just left school yesterday, I'm trying, maybe let me experiment on you. No one loves those kind of things. People want experienced guys. So before you go to the job market, you need to show that you have some experience. And it's not about faking it. You can actually gain experience. And one way of doing it that is conventional is people going for internships. Based on your situation, even I don't even see you doing this, like leaving your job to go and do an internship that can last for 3 to 6 months with no pay. This is something I would not even advise, even if you have the time. Some of these internships, you go and you find yourself doing stuff that are not really necessary. So what am I recommending? You can actually gain those skills from home by doing what? You identify a real business problem. So based on, let's say you have a degree in finance and you want to leverage AI and data, there are financial problems or things that are, excuse me, there are things that maybe these banks or financial institutions are facing that you are aware of based on your previous experience. So it's not about just working on any type of projects, but you need to work on a project that when you put it out on LinkedIn, companies will say, yeah, that problem is the same thing I'm facing. These guys actually solved that problem. What methodology did you use to solve that problem, right? So that's how you can gain some experience from home. You see, so the sub step is identify a business problem. You can actually do the project independently, or you can decide to do it collectively. Maybe you have some partners, some other guys that are actually learning with you. You guys can decide to solve the problem together. And very, very important, I can't really emphasize on this, publish your results. No matter how the results are, publish the results. You think that you want to say, I'll do maybe 3 projects and I think I will be well qualified to publish a project. No, there's a reason why you want to publish your projects and you're going ahead. Someone want to see that progress, right? Today you started the project, maybe the first one you published was 2 on 10 for rating. The next time you publish, someone can rate like 5 on 10. The next time you publish, it's 7 on 10. Someone wants to see progress. Sometimes these guys, they employ you not based on because you are so good. They see that this guy is someone that actually has progress, which means that if we invest in this guy, we can guarantee progress. So this is one way of gaining experience from home, and I will highly recommend this. The next, yeah, this is also very, very important about your professional brand. If you don't have a LinkedIn, I know most of you're probably on TikTok, TikTok, Instagram. There is nothing wrong with those platforms for maybe for your social life, right? You just want to go relax as well. But for your professional life, even though you can still have a professional profile on Instagram, on TikTok, but the ideal one is LinkedIn. So you need to present yourself on LinkedIn professionally. And when I say present yourself professional on LinkedIn, it's not just going and having an account. And when you go there the next minute, the only thing you do is just go straight to the job section, you apply for your jobs, and you disappear. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you need to be actively present. If you can spend 2 hours on TikTok, why not spend 30 minutes or 1 hour on Instagram? That can help you put something out there that while you're sleeping, while you're doing your other job, someone is actually looking at your profile and they can contact you. That is what we talk about passive. You're doing passive application. So you having an active profile, you're creating content, you're doing something very good, you're posting those projects, you're showcasing your skills on LinkedIn or any other professional platform. While you are not on the platform, people are actually checking you out. That is a nice thing about doing this professional brand. And uh, so for you could also think of this as if you have just your CV, for example, your CV, right? Your CV technically cannot apply for a job meanwhile you're not there. Traditionally, you must have a CV. And I've also written another article talking about how jobs are being distributed. I'm going to share that article with you guys about just to let you guys know, only about 3% of jobs are being published online. The rest, 97 of jobs, you never see them on any platform, on Indeed or LinkedIn. Those other opportunities, they go through networks, they go through what we say man to man, okay? And there are other ways you can uncover these types of opportunities. So this professional branding will help you uncover the other 97% of opportunities. In the article, I really elaborated how you can uncover those other opportunities. And finally, phase 5 of it is your job readiness. So for job readiness, it's like normally you can do the traditional one of going there applying as well. But if you already have a very good project that you think, out from that project, you have come up with something, a good methodology or a good solution that you think a company in your industry is facing, or maybe at your job site, you can actually go and present that solution to your boss or to your manager. Then you should be thinking of project proposals, not only looking at CVs. Why not be proactive, go and present project proposals? Those are the kind of things some employers want to see. They want to see how proactive you are. How do you have that entrepreneurial mindset? These guys, they want partners. They don't want people that will come at a line in their expense report. So you want to be someone that brings revenue so that they can decide to say, okay, we can invest much money on this guy because this guy has something that if I invest in, this guy can bring me, for example, in a month, he or she can bring me 10,000 pounds. If I pay this guy 2 or 3,000 pounds a month, then I still have 7,000 pounds in me. That's how these business guys they think. So normally, these are the kind of things you have to work on. Have a technical CV. I'm going to explain in the report. I explain what it means by technical CV as well. Then obviously you have to do the normal routine things, right? Polish your job interview skills, practice, and be ready to ace interviews. Now, this is an example of you being job ready. And not like surprisingly, but tragically, a lot of people I know, maybe you on this call, you post yourself as candidate 1. So this is what I really want. This part of the transformation process I really want us to have. Like you stop being candidate 1 and you be candidate 2. If I hope you guys are able to read, you clearly see that candidate 1 is like really that begging for a job. So I need a job. This is my CV. I have these skills. I have these degrees. I own a degree in this. I own it. And so what? People don't care about those degrees. The question is,
we can't hear you anymore.
Seriously? So am I okay?
Oh, you're okay now.
Okay. I could hear you all too.
Okay. So you want to avoid being that needy kind of person. You want to be that person that when you present yourself, you say, okay, sir, I have done this project. This is what I found. And I think me implementing a solution in your company can help you do this, can help you do that, can help you. You always want to position yourself as someone that needs to help someone. Don't be like you are going there to someone to help you. No, you want to help a company or help a manager or help this. So that is a mentality shift I want you guys to have. Just understand that companies, they need problem solvers. They don't need people to come at a line in their expense report. So in the report that I have, you're going to see how I actually elaborated on this as well. So that is a mentality shift. especially if you want to be in the AI and data field, you need to present yourself as candidate 2. And lastly, for the phase 6 of the framework, think of joining professional community. I mentioned that 97% of jobs, you don't find them on professional platforms. Some of them, they navigate through private networks. For example, for most companies, there is this initiative about if you're an employee and you recommend someone and that person is being employed, you get commissions. So whenever there's an opportunity, the manager, first of all, will ask internally, do you know of someone that is capable of doing this role? If they already know that I do have someone in my network, obviously they will just recommend. And most of the time, those jobs will never see the light of LinkedIn. It's only when those things, maybe internally they don't find someone, then they can post on LinkedIn, or maybe they just also want to post on LinkedIn so that people would think that that company is actually employing. Meanwhile, that thing is just there and you keep sending your applications and you get automated rejections. So joining a professional community is very, very important because you can really leverage a community and a network. And also not only for the job opportunities, also you can learn, right? There is no way. The field is very broad and things are moving very, very fast. You might be so focused on your job. Meanwhile, there's another opportunity in that same AI that you need to leverage. So you need to be there so that people share ideas. You see where the industry is moving and the skills you need to learn to keep upgrading so you stay relevant in the field. So those were the 6 phases of the framework that I'm really, really hoping that you guys can follow in order to get a job. And hopefully when you do that, my goal is that I need to see you, hopefully you become, first day at the office, right? You switch from doing what you're doing and you maybe not even going to the office now, maybe first day working from home. Let's put it that way. So summary, this is the E2P framework in brief. So step number 1 or phase 1, career coaching and counseling. Very, very important. You've already understood. So when you do that, you get the role that you think is best for your profile. You move to skill development and training. That is the part where you really have to do a good job by learning the skills, only the necessary skills. Don't pack yourself with too many skills. Okay, only the necessary skills. Then the work integrated learning phase is how you can gain experience from home. Most of you are already working. I don't expect you to quit your job, so you can actually gain experience from home. Professional branding, you're now taking yourself to the next level. You need to learn how to sell yourself. So selling yourself means you really you package yourself. Out there it's all about packaging. That's why I love the Americans. They like talking. Meanwhile, I'm not saying that they are empty, but most of the time, they are good at packaging themselves. We need to be good at that. Package yourself well. Even if you're empty, package yourself well, you will learn on the job. Surprisingly, most of these jobs even, they will give you a very difficult job profile. When you go to the job, the next day you'll be asking yourself, but why were they even disturbing me during the interview? So somehow you need to also package yourself so that you can even cross that first stage. And even during interviews, you still need to package yourself, speak boldly. The way you speak will determine how they'll give you the job. Then I also spoke about job placement, which is about sometimes applying for the jobs, but you need to be proactive with stuff like project proposals, be thinking of a sales video, be thinking of a technical CV, and those kind of things. And finally, the phase 6 is joining a professional community. So those were the 6 phases of the A2P framework. And that is how, if you follow these 6 phases, I believe you can make the transition from a non-tech to an AI and data specialist within 3 to 6 months. Some success stories. Okay. When I started this initiative, we went to a football pitch and we spoke we just went playing football and we decided to talk to these guys. And Nelson actually just bought the idea, said, no, he has to work with us. Okay, so Nelson he was a process engineer, means nothing related to what Nelson did at school. And Nelson is not having a technical background, no analytical knowledge before. So we started training with Nelson. Nelson got the skills. So Nelson got the skills. Then, yeah, there's a question in the chat. So please answer that question for me. So Nelson got the skills, get some certifications. He did cloud computing with us, data fundamentals, Power BI. Why is he keeping his job? Okay, we understand that. And he was very dedicated. I really love what Nelson did. And fortunately for him, he's not even needed to look that far. He just went back to his company, presented his certifications, and fortunately for him, the company at that time was looking for someone with the Power BI skills. They were even so surprised that how come he's even having a certification like that. So this is an example where you without a prior knowledge in AI and data, you can actually do, you can make the transition. Now, so this is another very good example. So Nikita she's based in the US. Nikita is based in the US. She also had no prior experience, no work experience. So when she moved to the US, she was working at Target, one of the supermarkets in the US. I don't know if it's there in the UK as well. But what she did was she didn't need that to go back to school. So this is an example of the Scrum Masters, right? Yeah, she has a good personality. She's good at what she's doing. So this was a very good transition for her. So she took the online training for like 6 weeks, but also be very careful. We had to do extra work. So she had to put in extra. She leveraged on online resources. We had to come up with a very good CV. She had to study the CV. There's quite a lot that is happening behind the scene that most people will not tell you. So fortunately for her, she landed a Scrum Master job, and now she's a very, very very good Scrum Master, which I'm very proud of. Okay. Now, before we move ahead, I'll just, want you to answer this quietly. I don't need you to omit yourself. I need you to just tell me. You need to answer this, because if you can't answer this, if you cannot answer this, then technically, I don't think there's a need for you to move ahead. So you have to answer this question to yourself quietly. So do you think you can actually learn that based on what we have covered so far? Do you think you can actually learn that AI and data jobs in weeks? So like we're talking about 3 to 6 months, and not in years. You don't need to go back to school. So do you really think you can land that job? Okay, the next question I want to ask you is, based on, for example, some of the case studies, do you think you can learn the skills? You can learn those AI skills from the comfort of your home. I know you guys are all working, you have something doing. Do you think you can actually master those skills? If others have done it, do you think you can really do it yourself? And the third question is, I said, if you're very good, recruiters will come knock it at your DM. They will come to LinkedIn. By the time you wake up in the morning, you see people already sending you requests. So do you think you can actually get those opportunities? Okay. And lastly, do you think you can actually, live that life? I don't know what you guys were dreaming of when you went to the university, but maybe after that, you felt like everything fell apart. Do you think you can really restructure your life again and live that dream life you were really hoping for? Okay, I'm hoping that you answered yes to all of to all 4 questions, because for us to move ahead and really have, and for me to help you, then I need you to have answered yes to all 4 questions. Now, here's my gift to you. Okay, what I've done, I've explained everything to you, and I know some of you are already asking for the recording because you want to follow that, but I also want to provide you something. I've put forth that framework that I've shown you is there. I've actually prepared a whole report that you can leverage, you can study at your convenience and actually implement those steps to you. And the nice thing is I'm going to give you for free. You're not going to pay me anything for that. I took my time. It took me over 50 hours spread over more than 3 months for me to come up with this report. So I had to do a lot of research, we did an experiment with this stuff together, and I keep improving on this strategy. It's a methodology that I believe that I have used, others have used, and I believe that if you do the same thing, you should be able to have the same results. So here is you can scan the QR code, but still, so maybe you can help me, put the link in the chat section. Put the link in the chat section so that people can go and download a free copy. Take note, I mentioned it's a free copy of the E2PE framework. With that framework, you can study at your convenience. There are a lot of things that I've really detailed out in that report that it will help you to make the transition. So I think I can do that as well. Let me see if I can get that link. In the meantime, if you do have a question,
don't worry, I have it already. I'm going to post it in the chat.
Okay. So guys, if you do have a question why the others are downloading the framework, I can take 1 or 2 questions before I move ahead. So if you want to download the framework, you can, if you're watching from your laptop, you can scan the QR code, or if you're using your phone, you can go to the chat section and you click on the link to download the framework. Why the others are downloading the framework?
So you guys want to.
If you have a question, you can, unmute yourself and leverage me while I'm here, because the next time that you might want to talk to me, it might cost you some pounds. Okay. Any questions so far? Or everything's well understood? So you don't need my help? You believe that with what we have got?
Okay. It's okay.
So you're okay. Okay, so the link is there in the chat section. I'm hoping that all of you on this call should, if you haven't downloaded the framework yet, go straight away and download the framework. You can leverage it at your convenience. Maybe while at home, you can just be going through the framework. Even at work, or when you have your free time, you can really go through the framework and understand the things you need to do in order to make that transition. And if you have a question, don't hesitate. You can always keep them in the chat section. Someone is asking if the recordings will be available. Yes, the recordings will be available to everyone. Now, so there are ways, how can you implement this framework? You can implement it on your own, right? I've mentioned that with the framework, if you're based on, based on certain criteria, you should be able to, that is the goal. The goal was for me to write the framework and hand it over to you so that you can potentially do it on your own and learn and make that transition. So in order to further, like for me to help you more, again, I know some of you really love, sometimes you just want to relax rather than reading something, you just want to listen and watch. So I've actually come up with a product on top of that, which is a whole series. It's a 6-model series that actually explains all the explains the framework in a video format. So that video series actually has extra stuff. I'm saying this is something I just recently released, I talking about last week. So it has more things that it will support you while you're studying the framework. So even if you have the PDF version of the framework, I would strongly advise that you still get this video series in order to make sure that you actually effectively implement the framework. So you should watch this framework if you need to watch the framework if you're having the following challenges. So maybe by now you're already convinced that you want to move into AI and data, but you should watch the framework if you're unsure of which AI and data career path you need to follow. So you need to, first of all, I said, step number 1, you need to first of all choose, right? And someone says I am unable to download. So can you check that out, why someone is unable to download? And you should watch this.
Sorry, before you continue, I just want to say you have to fill in the form. I mean, we have some basic questions just to know who is getting the free copy of the framework before you download. It's not like a direct download, so just some information.
Yeah, okay. That's something maybe I didn't mention. For you to download the form, we need to know who's downloading, right? So that we can, just a basic, just fill the form quickly, and you will receive the necessary links for you to download the E2P framework. Okay, then for the video series, I said this is also going to support you in order to transition, right? So if you're struggling also as well to identify the skills that you need to learn, This video series will help you in order to do that. And lastly, if you're really struggling with job rejections, this video series is going to really, really help you in order to solve some of these challenges. And additionally, the benefits is that when you watch the videos, when you watch the video series, you should be able to uncover at least 3 tailored AI and data career paths that are suited for you, and also how to quickly and effectively learn the skills. There is one thing that, yeah, you can know the skills, but how to effectively learn the skills is another thing. And confidently, prepare yourself to attract high-paying AI and data opportunities. I didn't say prepare yourself to go follow opportunities. I said prepare yourself to attract. Those are two different things. So I really want you guys to watch this video in order to benefit from this. So on the website, currently we are giving it at 25 pounds. But for all of you, for those that are present in this call right now, there is a discount. If you get this frame, if you decide to get this video series now, you have a £5 discount. As soon as we end this call and we receive any request from anyone, you are going to pay the full amount. Okay, so like I said, this is a video series that has a complete full package that will help you in order to implement the E2PE framework. The E2PE framework is there. You can actually leverage it as well, the PDF version, but the video series really brings in additional things that you need to know about the framework that will guarantee you a high success rate in your transition. So as well, yes. So that is it on in the chat section. That is in the chat section. For those of you that are interested, make sure you click there and grab a copy of the E2PE framework video series. I'll pause here a little bit, hoping that some of you are downloading the framework as well as getting a copy of your E2PE framework series. Then I'm also open again to questions. This is an opportunity for you to really ask questions. Don't keep your questions to yourself or try to ask privately. Yeah. So again, an opportunity. If you have questions that are a little bit specific to you or something, it's an opportunity for me to answer for you freely. If you have doubts based on what we have covered so far, still either put in the chat section. I see how some people are interactive in the chat section, or be bold enough and just unmute yourself and present me or ask your questions.
Thank you very much for taking your time, for giving us that free time to listen to you and to know how to transit. But my question is, for me, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, for me, I did master's in molecular biology with bioinformatics, which so that time they taught us a lot of things, which because I've not been really working on that, so the thing has moved on. So they are using different this thing like base computer something now to work on. But at the moment I'm working in on the next sector, which I'm thinking of doing something on earth informatics or data science. So I don't know whether, I'm just asking now that if those two lines, they are okay to go with, or it's better off to really going into this one to enter into a sector, or to go directly to do earth informatics. That's my question, advice from you.
Okay, it's Femi, right? Femi speaking, right?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So Femi, I think that is a very good question, and it's I'm glad that you asked that question, because I think somehow you and I, we have a similar background. I did biochemistry.
Yes.
You did.
I did microbiology first, and then I did something on my molecular biology with bioinformatics.
Yeah. And I really don't know when you did your degree, but truly, like you said, things are changing, right? A lot of advancement has been done, and now I know that most people are really leveraging the data and AI skills in this health sector in order to really advance advance the health sector. So my advice, my recommendation would be, yes, the core things about bioinformatics has not changed. Maybe now is the way they do it that has probably changed, but the core things about that has not really changed, which I believe somehow, I believe that the knowledge is still there. Maybe you feel like it is dormant, but if you get active again, that health aspect, I believe you can, maybe 1 month or 2 months, you can read those things and you pick up those ones. What I would really advise you now is really get this AI and data skills. Take note, I like I said, it's not a complete transition.
Okay.
You just get these skills. So let's say in the field, in the health, it can be in a research center that they are trying to do a research about maybe a cancer treatment. And when they do these things, they get data, right?
Yes.
So a lot of process involved. I'll just give you an example. If you want to become, before they even get the data, you need to plan the data management aspect, because you need to start by getting quality data. You need to collect the right data. So that's already part of the data process. But the thing is, you cannot bring an outsider to come and decide what type of data to be collected. It's you with the background. You need to say, okay, for me to analyze this data, I need this type of, I need this, that. Because you are going to have the health background and the data knowledge, it makes you that is a unique blend that most people don't have. There are guys that are either good at the bioinformatics, there are guys that are either good at the data science. So from my experience, they always need people that they are on the fence. They understand the bioinformatics and they understand the data. Don't wait too much. Don't go too bioinformatics. Don't go too data science. Stay in the middle. You will become, I would say, technically, that's the business analyst role. You become the business guy that understands the core knowledge of the bioinformatics, and you also understand the technical folks. So you can tell the technical folks, this is how I want you to analyze the data. Your responsibility will not be to analyze the data. You can still take that stand. But when they analyze the data, the fact that you have both knowledge, you can actually criticize if the results is good. So that is the standard one. That is the standard one most for me. I recommend that. With time, you can decide to say, okay, let me shift more technical. But at the beginning, that is the role you will take. So if you position yourself like that in a business call, trust me, you easily get the job, because I don't see you beating someone that has actually done a data science degree. It's possible, but that is a competition that you don't want to start having now, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Position yourself in a way that you find your uniqueness. You have the bioinformatic knowledge, you have the data science knowledge, and you position yourself as the guy on the fence. I understand the business, I understand the technical guys. So that is the reason why I can be good at having this job. Then as you're going ahead, as you're climbing the management level, you see that you can either decide to be a technical manager or you become bestie in your field. I don't know if that really answers your question, but obviously, if you need more, then that will be something else.
Thank you very much. You really answered my question very well. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, but I think also in the video, in the video series, I kind of really explained certain things that you need to consider when doing these things. Okay, so make sure you grab a copy of the E2PE framework and also the video series.
Okay, I'll do that.
We're going to move ahead. Now, for some of you, it can be very challenging if you have to do it on your own, right? It is possible for you to do it on your own, but if you want to do it on your own, it can be quite challenging. It might take you a longer time for you to figure out certain things. I've tried my best to put everything on paper and also in the video series. Some of you need to go a little bit extra in order to get those things out. And it really requires determination, resilience, concentration, and effective time management. I don't know how good you are with those type of skills, but anything that has to do with online things, doing on your own, those are the kind of skills you need to have. That is why some people just always want a mentor. They want someone to be accountable. They want someone to always say, today I'm not really feeling well. They'll just wake you up and say, but you have to do it. So we all need that type of person. And I really don't want you to spend the time because I really committed a lot of errors in my professional career that I really don't want you guys to commit. I've tried as much as possible to explain those things in the framework, but no matter how I explain it, if I have to write, I'll probably have to write like 10 textbooks for you guys to really have everything that I've ever had. And you also miss on the inside of industry professionals. Like I said, some of the times when you're working with industry professionals, it's not because you're actually paying for the knowledge, you are paying for connections. That is something you guys need to understand. You are paying for connections. If today, if I'm in the UK, for example, we partner together and we're doing something together, and there's an opportunity, obviously you leverage from my network. And those are the kind of things you will not get online. The guy you're going and watching on Udemy or whatever, or Coursera, they don't even know you. So when you do those strategies, yeah, I'm not saying that those strategies are not good, but those are the kind of things you will miss when you want to do things on your own. Now, so what am I really recommending? You need to do this receiving help from receiving professional help, right? And I really want to offer you something, another thing very, very special. I'm trying to give something for everyone. Okay, if you think you can do it on your own, the PDF version is there. I've added you the video series. You can still do it on your own. For those of you that you think, no, this thing, I always need help, then I want to offer you something very, very special. And that special thing is called the Education to Professional Employment Accelerator Program. So this program, the whole goal of this program is to help you to make that transition with the help of industry professionals. So within that same 3 to 6 months, and I mentioned guaranteeing you that 10 to 50% increase in salary. And the framework, the foundation of this framework is based on industry professionals. We are spread across the globe. Currently I'm based in Belgium, so it's also based in Belgium. We have guys based in the US, we have guys based in the UK. For example, if we identify that you need skill A, B, or C, and there is someone that is very proficient in that in the UK, we network you with that guy in the UK. That is the strategy we use. It's not like all just us doing stuff here, but we leverage our international network so that we get effective training. So what are the benefits of this program? First of all, it will really help you to uncover. I think I just spoke with Femi. Femi, I've given you free career coaching without you paying for it. But I can also, with that program, when you join the program, we can at least uncover 3 different career paths that you need to follow. You cannot put all your eggs in one basket. So you need to have at least 3, so that when you're applying or when you're doing your training, you know that you have to gain skills that can go across these 3 different career paths. Then the second thing you're going to benefit is you quickly learn the skills. If, for example, you're learning with me, there are certain things that I'll just tell you, don't even bother yourself about those things, because no one is ever going to ask you in the job market. But if you go online, these platforms, they are not producing those things specifically for you. They are trying to be generic to everyone. So most of the times you'll be learning things that are not even necessary. So with joining the program, we make sure that for someone like Femi is the health sector. I know there are some kind of statistical things that you need to learn. So I know I'm just giving you further advice again. For Femi, I know in the health sector, they use more of R programming. I might not even advise you. They also use Python. They use those kind of things. So those are the kind of things I can really advise you based on your industry and how to quickly learn those skills. And also, thirdly, you gain the valuable work experience, right? I don't expect you guys to quit your job. We'll help you to do at least 3 projects together. If you're in the health sector, we partner you with someone in the health sector that is actually working, so that they will show you how things are done in real life. So, for example, Femi, you're in the health sector. So is also in the health sector. So works with pharmaceutical companies. So he's going to show you how things are done, how projects are done, how he's actually doing those projects. So those are the importance of working with industry professionals. And those are the things we bring forth to you in this program. We want to make sure that when you publish a project out there, an employer sees that project, they'll question, how come this guy is actually publishing such a project with such standards? Those are the things you get from this program. So next question is, how can you join the program? First of all, before you join, it's not like anyone just on the street can join the program. We are very, very strict on who can join the program. So first of all, you must be a non-tech professional and you hold a university degree. If you are not having a university degree, the reason why we are saying so because we are just adding skills to your current domain knowledge. If you had a degree in finance, then you should stick to your finance, except for some reason you have a good argument that you want to make that complete transition in also your domain knowledge. You must be enthusiastic about the AI and data as well, and you stick to do this in 3 to 6 months. We don't want people to come tell me, I want to take my time and do it in 2 years. No, it means I'll just advise you to go and do it in a university, and you're looking for someone to guide you. If you think you can do it on your own, then you should leverage the framework, the PDF version, and the video. That is why those other products are there. They can help you. But if you need support, then you should join the program. And finally, you are ready to invest some time and money for it. Don't say you can't push everything to us, we'll do it. There are certain things that we cannot even do for you. You have to learn the skills. But the whole goal is we'll guide you in such a way that the learning process will not be that difficult. You have the learning be guided by industry professionals. Before joining this framework, you cannot just enter the framework like that. No. The reason why we are doing this is because we want you to understand that our program is based on our framework. You need to have the framework at your fingertips. So prerequisite number 1, you must have downloaded and studied the framework, and you must have completely watched the E2PE video series. That there is no argument about that. You have to do those 2 things before you can even think of joining the E2PE accelerator program. And I'll just take some time to quickly rush you through the phases of the E2PE phases. So first, number 1, we do profile discovery. I presented this to someone on Friday, and they were asking me what is the content of the program. For example, Femi, you are going to join. I see for me as well. You other have guys that are going to join. We don't have a predefined courses. We don't have predefined courses because it's going to depend on your profile. That's why we start by profile discovery. I need to understand what are the skills you already have. I need to understand your domain knowledge. I need to take that time to get to understand you, and also look at what are your goals. What do you want to do? What are the kind of things you really love doing? Then when we do that, we do profile examination. So we take our time, we sit behind the scene, we really examine that profile. We have designed and built an AI tool that helps us to really go deep into the AI and get data to help us to really provide you with good recommendations on what you need to do. When you present the recommendations to you and you accept the recommendations, then you move into the program now, which we're going to start. If you have to gain some skills, we do the skill development. We help you to do some projects together, work integrated learning, really publish those projects out there, and do some job market placement skills, like helping you with project proposals, doing some video sales. There's quite a lot we'll help you to do in order to prepare you for the job market. So those are the 6 phases. The 3 phases, they are before joining. Then when everything is okay, you and I we agree with our team, we now join, and these are the 3 other phases you have to follow. And before I present the last things, I also want to say the first belief is you don't really need a technical degree for this. That is the reason why you're joining this, right? Because with this, you don't need to be technical. It will help you to gain the technical skills so that you can make that transition. And you don't need to quit your job. I've mentioned this over and over. We understand that you guys are working, so you can still keep your job, but obviously you need to dedicate some time for it. That is the truth about it. Okay, so my question for you is are you really ready for this right now? Are you ready to take on? Because it's a battle, okay? It's not just a walk through the shopping street. No, it's going to be a battle. And fortunately for you, you have people that are going to support you. The good thing is if you have the best coaches in the world, your battle is going to be a little bit not that challenging as someone that has no coach but have to do it on their own. So these are some modalities. The duration of the program lasts from 3 to 6 months. It could be 3 months depending on your profile. It could be 6 months. And capacity is limited. We're not just open. It's not an unlimited school that we just keep taking people. We have a maximum spot of 10, okay? And we only take that 6 months. So if as soon as we reach our 10 spots, we already have some students. As soon as we clock 10, you want to join, you have to wait for 6 months. Sorry, but that is the truth about it. The reason why we're doing is because we want to focus on the 10 and get results. We are not here to, yeah, obviously we want to make money out of it, right? But the goal is results. We want to get results. We want to see people making that transition. That is why we are limiting our spot only to 10 people, because we want that one-on-one. We want you to have our time. Whenever you contact us at any time having issues, we should be able to give you a tailored response. Everything is done remotely, and the program is tailored to your needs. So there's no fixed thing that we have to do, even though there are some fundamentals that I believe if you have no technical skills, you have to cover them. But based on your needs and everything, we have a tailored program. The fees start at 99 euros. So for you to register to join the program, it starts at 99 euros. But you only pay this fee after we have done the first consultation. So when you do the initial consultation, so we'll have a first meeting with you, we explain to you, there are other details that I haven't mentioned here, but when you do that meeting with us, you will say, okay, yes, I want to move ahead with you guys. Then you have to pay your registration fee of 99 euros. Is that the fee for the whole program? No. It's the start of for us to just first of all do that discovery phase, examine and recommend. When you recommend, if you say no, this thing is not something for me, you can actually quit at that level. But when we examine and come up with recommendations, I will diagnose your specific pathway, then we can now give you an invoice of how much it will cost you in total. So the first call is free. There is nothing you have to pay. It's simply just have to book a call with us, and we examine, we talk to you, we get to know you. You give us you tell us, we'll just ask some questions, we'll do some free consultation, and then if we both agree that we want to move ahead, then we'll move ahead. And like I said, there's no guarantee that when you book the call, you'll get it. There are certain things we also want to know. We are very strict on this. We are not open to the general public. We are very specific. There's no guarantee, even when you apply for it, you will get the position, because we want to guarantee results. So you can obviously book a free call with us. So can you please help me and drop the booking, the call, the link to book? Yeah, for those of you that wants to join to have a free booking call, you can obviously do so. But like I mentioned, the prerequisite for you to join this, you must have studied the framework. So it's good, you can still book the call, but make sure before you come to the call, you have already studied the framework. Okay. So that was it, guys. That was it. If there are any questions, I'm open to get your questions. Yeah, that's what I prepared for you. I hope it actually made some sense, and I'm hoping that you're going to leave this call with a change of mindset and know that it's possible for you to make the transition into the world of AI and data. I'm open to take more questions, so don't hesitate. Femi, that was a very good question. I'm happy you asked that question. For the others, if you have a specific question based on the product and services we have mentioned, feel free to ask. Okay. Any question? This is an opportunity for you to post me a question. Again, if there are no questions, then I think you guys are all very, very smart people. So everything was clear enough. And yeah, we can end the call. And obviously, I really, during the presentation, I made mention of several resources you can leverage. So first of all, we do have across all the social media platforms, you can check us on Graffiland. yeah, you can check us on Graffiland. On LinkedIn, you can really type my name, Ivo Kubam. You'll find me on LinkedIn. I'm active with my name, but for the other social media platforms, we are active with Graffiland. Each week, like daily, we try as much as possible to publish things on the WhatsApp group. If you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, I'm going to share the link to the WhatsApp group. Then also, I just get, whenever I get inspired, I often get inspired. I just provide you free trainings. That's one nice thing. You need to be part of the group, right? Because you gain from these free trainings. I really focus on the concepts, because that's what we have realized, that if you go online, people are so obsessed with tools. They keep just learning tools from left to right. But what these guys are looking for, they want people to understand concepts. You need to understand the concept. For example, if you want to become an agile coach in AI and the AI and data space, it's not, you have to learn your mastery of the Jira tool, or maybe what's this other tool, the one from Microsoft. You have to learn those tools, right? But the core is the framework. You need to master the framework. So that is where you get that is the difference. It's not about, yeah, you need to use the tools, but when you're talking to someone, the tools are just there to facilitate your job. So same thing in AI and data space. A lot of people get carried away with tools. You say you want to become a data analyst, your first thing you're thinking of is Power BI. I'm not saying that Power BI is wrong, but the first thing you need to be thinking of, what is even data analysis? Do you even understand the common term data? Someone is very good at Power BI, but don't even understand basic data. So those are the kind of things sometimes I share with you guys in the group. So make sure you're part of the group as well. And obviously, these are the framework is there, the video series is there, and the program is there for you guys to join. Okay, maybe, so any last word? I don't think we're having questions from the group, so.
No questions yet. Ivo, thank you very much for your presentation. And the only thing I can add is I would just love to share my experience with coaching so far, and what I've discovered. What I think people lack is the fact that so with the people I've coached so far, what they always tell me is, I thought I would just watch this YouTube video. I would just lock myself in the room, I come back from work every month, every day. I watch this YouTube video for like 6 months. Then when I leave after 6 months, I'll be hot cake. Everybody will be watching after me on LinkedIn. No, that's not how it works. So people just sit, listen to watch YouTube videos. They don't even really practice it. They don't know how to implement it, like you said. And at the end of the day, you watch, someone will tell you, I've watched a video on YouTube, or I've watched a video on Udemy on how to use Power BI, but you give the person a project, just a data set, import it, or just a basic concept in data, they don't understand it. That's why you really need someone to coach you, to tell you that, okay, we really think this is what you should look into, what you look into. Do not underestimate. I just want to add to your voice to say people should not underestimate the need of a coach in starting this particular data journey. It's very, very important. Well, thank you for the talk today. And also sign up for Graffiland's events, especially because I remember we had a very interesting event last month, where we had the 22 data analysis challenge. And when we sat together at the end of the challenge to look at the feedback, we saw that people actually learned a lot. People really saw data in a different way, and people actually improved their skills. Those are kind of challenges that we launch once in a while. So if you're really interested in the data field, you should stay connected with us and watch out for those kind of challenges, where we really teach people how to analyze data. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, guys, I really want to thank you for first of all registering for the event, and also staying to the end. And we are going to share with you guys resources that can really help you to leverage to make that transition. And don't hesitate to reach out if you do have specific questions based on what I've explained. Yeah, so the links are all there. Make sure if you want to access the links, just click on them right now, because as soon as we end the call, you won't have access to the chat section. And yeah, tomorrow or latest on Tuesday, you're going to receive an email from us with all the necessary resources for this event. So thank you for being there, and we keep in touch.